In this video, we'll have a look at how to create and edit simple formulas. So what I've done is I've put together a very simple two pieces of data to calculate using a formula method, and I'll also show how to use the same data to calculate using a predefined function built into Excel. So to get started, it's important that you have to place the active pointer where you want the results to be, and then to tell Excel that you want to create a formula, you use the equal key. So the equal key will differentiate the data input between either a label, a value, or a formula, because we've only got the three basic types of input. So for both of these, you start off with an equal key. Now, what you can do to keep this really simple is you can just type in the data by itself. So it's equals 12, and then plus, we can type 20. And then simply press the enter key. So when you create a formula, you can type in raw data like this, just the numbers directly, and it kind of works kind of in reverse of a calculator where we would type in something like 20 plus 12, press the equal key. So with Excel, you have to start it with an equal key, type in the data, and press enter. Now the problem with doing it this way is that you'll get the correct answer, 12 plus 20 equals 32. The problem is if I decide to change my number from 12 to 15 in the future, the answer doesn't change because I've entered in static data. So to change this, or to make it more effective, what we're going to do is write the formula this time with not the data itself but the cell reference. So for example, you'll see here that 12 is actually inside of B4 and 20 is sitting in B5. So to write the formula to do this a little more properly here would be to start again with the equal key, and then type in the cell, the first reference, which would be B4. So we type in B4, press the plus, and B5. You don't have to type in upper lowercase, you can just type it in directly like that. When you type in that formula, you'll see here that one of the cells turns blue, and it coincides with the actual range. Okay, here I lost that, so let's try that again. So it's B4 plus B5. Press enter. Alright, so if you double click on the cell once you've entered this in, it's a way of going back and auditing or editing the formula. So B4 is highlighted with the blue ring here, and it shows blue, and then because we're so close to the B5 here, it's not showing, but there's a very faint green line behind it. So you can see exactly what cells that are included in the formula. Alright, so that's how you can type in a very basic formula using Excel, and the benefit to this method is if I go in now and I change the numbers here, you'll see that the answer, the bottom, changes, because every time you enter some data in, Excel recalculates the results. Alright, so that's how you can write a very basic formula using the cell references. Now doing the same thing with a function, Excel has several predefined functions built into it. And one of the most common uses of Excel is to add up or sum up a column of numbers. And here we've got a column, two numbers, which is still, you can add that up. And the name of the function, again, you start with an equal key, and then we type in the name of the function to sum this up is SUM. And when you type SUM in, you'll see here that it pops up with a little tooltip, and it'll give you all the different functions that start with SUM. We just want SUM, which is the sum, and we have to put a bracket. That's the round bracket, and you'll notice inside the bracket you can type in different arguments, and the first one here is number 1, and you can put in multiples arguments. We'll talk about this later when we deal with more functions. And what I'm going to do here is I simply want to type in my first range, which is in this case D4, and then I have to put in a colon and then D5 and close the bracket. So if you look at this, what it does is it only has one color, D4 to D5, and it's important to use the colon to separate the two numbers. So you usually put the top number and then the bottom number of that particular range, and we'll press enter. We come up with the same answer. So what we've done here is we've used the same data using two different methods. One is a formula method and one is using the function method. And when you've done this, you can just simply double click on them to edit the formula or the function. Alright, so that's a little demonstration about how to create and edit a simple formula and function, and we'll see you in the next video.